live every night, but it hasn't worked. But now Dylan's finally joining us, so this is exciting. And Dylan's in New Zealand, right?
Yeah, it's Wednesday for us. I think it's Tuesday for you, right?
Yeah, dude.
Sick. Well, we're just hanging out here at the beach. I can show you all. Here, one of the New Zealand beaches. We're in Nelson, so that's about the biggest surf I've seen since Sunday for like 4 days. It's like ankle biters, but it's been also raining a lot. First nice day here.
Dang. Dude, did you see the new hat I got, Dylan?
Pretty cool.
Yeah. It's an Outback.
Oh, dude, I need that hat.
It's like this wax canvas. It's pretty sweet. And it's like whatever form you put it into, it stays.
That's it.
Isn't that sweet?
I have
Look at
one kind of like that.
Yeah. But okay. Well, no one's watching, but this will be posted later. The last one we did, dude, had the most out of all the live streams I got. Has like 13 or 14 views on it total. And the other ones I only have like 3 or 4 or 5 views.
Oh, sick.
Oh, you know what I should do is send this to the fam.
Can you trim down what's posted?
Can you trim down what's posted? Or do you have to post the whole thing? Looks like Dennis is frozen.
Do you want to build a snowman?
I'm like sending the link to people. Okay. I'm back. Now I'm not frozen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but your face is still frozen.
Okay. It might unfreeze. That's okay. The Wi-Fi isn't also the best down in the cellar here where I am at.
Ah, you're in the cellar, eh?
Yeah. But you're going.
Cool.
Yeah. So, what have you been up to over there in the New Zealand?
Oh boy, we've been busy. We Evie and I, we've been toting around trying to find jobs. Here we got to Nelson on Sunday. Our gig up north in the North Island got canceled like 3 hours before we were supposed to be there. So plans changed and we came down here. We found housing just the other day. It's a really sick house. It's huge. We're renting a room in a big house, and it's a father's daughter, and we have our own like wing of the house for ourselves. They have jacuzzi, ocean view from our room. See the ocean here. Pool, like veggie gardens. It's super cool. They have kayaks that we can use, so that's super cool. And rent is $800 US dollars. So it's less than what I was paying in Prescott, but we're sharing a house. But they're really cool. There's a lot of good mountain biking here. The daughter's 16. She mountain bikes a lot. So, yeah, super cool. Dad, they have a lot of fishing poles. Dad goes fishing and stuff. They do. So we're super excited. We move in there Saturday. Went to the bank today, try to open a bank account. That's the hardest thing to do so far. Everything else has been so easy here in New Zealand. Getting driver's license, like renting rooms, you can do like based weekly, right? So you pay rent every week. You know how in the States it's mostly like your lease is like 6 months or a year-long lease.
Yeah.
And you pay like once a month rent. So here it's paid like weekly. Obviously you have to get like, if you're gonna leave, you have to, tell them ahead of time. But yeah, so that's super cool. Yeah, renting rooms have been super easy.
What does a driver's license look like? If you have a U.S. driver's license and you show up there, what do you have to do?
You go to AA, which is like AAA. It's like an insurance, and they also like mechanic shop, and they give you like car insurance and house insurance and stuff. But they also do roadside assistance. So AA, yeah, you don't have to go to AA, but we did it there, and then you can also just go in.
So yeah. AAA, it's AA.
It's called AA. But you go in. All you need is your passport, and what else do you need to get your driver's license?
Your passport and your driver's license, but you can use your American driver's license. You don't have to have
So-
a New Zealand driver's license, but if your American driver's license has been renewed within the last 2 years and doesn't show evidence that you've been driving for at least 2 years, then you have to take a test. And if, like Dylan's driver's license is 2.5 years old, so he doesn't have to take a test.
Dang.
Yes, we had to do the behind the wheel because she renewed her license last 2 years. But it's not bad. It's like $50 US New Zealand dollars. It's like probably 25 New Zealand dollars. Everything's a lot faster in the States. You just can just walk in to the AA and do it. It's not like what do they call it?
DMV.
It's not like the DMV. Like you don't have to schedule anything in advance. It's super easy, super fast. Yeah, and you can drive for a year on your American license here. But if you're gonna get a job, they often ask if you have a New Zealand license. If
You
you're
have to have a New Zealand license to get your IRD number.
driver's license.
You have to have a New Zealand driver's license
Okay.
to get your IRD
So if you want to work, you need an IRD number, which is basically like your TIN, your tax identification number,
Your
social
number.
security number. So you need a driver's license and a bank account to get that. And you need your IRD number to work. That's how they tax you, basically, right? So
Yeah.
so if you're gonna come over here on the holiday working visa, pretty easy to do to show up. Make sure you have your passport, your other information that you have in the States. So passport, driver's license, birth certificate, or copy of that, and your social security. And then if you have all that, it should be pretty easy. The hardest thing is the bank account. You can't do it in person anymore. You have to sign up online, and then it didn't work for us online because you need a permanent address, and it has to be signed by your landlord. So that was kind of hard. We just got those papers yesterday, signed by the landlord. And
long story short, it's a massive pain in the ass.
long story short, everything is super easy except getting a bank account.
Which is how you get your job, which is how you get your house, which is how you're.
Yeah, but
You think with the working holiday visa being so easy and everything else being easy for people to come over and get seasonal work, you'd expect it to make it a little easier for that.
yeah,
right?
they say that everybody else has an easy time. We weren't able to do it online, so that we called the number.
But it's just
and then-
changed in the last 2
But the
years.
last 2 years it changed. Since COVID, they just put everything online, and they're understaffed. They also don't have bankers, so they can't. Just understaffed.
Dang.
The AA was they're also a little bit understaffed right now. Just like in the States too, right? Since COVID,
Yeah.
things have changed. But the weirdest thing is driving on the left side
Did
of the
you?
road.
So
right?
you bought a car?
Yeah, we bought a RAV4. Has 70,000 kilometers on it. 2010. Super sick. It's about 40,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
US. 40,000 miles on it. We bought it for, I don't know. It was a good price, but car shopping. Trade Me is a good spot. It's like Trade Me. You can look for jobs, for housing, for it's like a what do they call it?
Oh, it's like Craigslist.
It's like
successful.
Craigslist, but it actually is successful and works. So yeah, so we bought it off of Trade Me. Yeah,
Nice.
and that was If you buy at a car dealership, a used car, they're obviously the dealership. We were homies with one of the guys, and he said they mark everything up 4,000 or 5,000 NZD. Here they have the WOF, and you have to get your car inspected every year to make sure it's safe. So they check the seat belts, and they check your driver, the brakes, and they check everything else that would contain to the safety of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Not necessarily if your transmission's about to go, but they check if the safety of the vehicle, your airbags, seat belts, brakes, other things like that, right?
Yeah.
You have to do that once a year, and yeah,
Dang.
So
Um,
we've been staying busy trying to do, get
Also
everything
put
done.
2,000 kilometers on our car last week.
Yeah, we put 2,000 kilometers on the car in the last week. So
nice.
been doing a lot of driving. Gas is expensive. It's, what did we say it was? Yeah, sorry, there's a plane. It's almost like $15 a gallon. So that's something to think about if you're going to come over here and do like a road trip.
Wait, what? $15 a gallon?
Yeah, we're putting in to fill a tank. It's like 70 US dollars,
How
65,
big is
70
it
US dollars.
for like a 10-gallon tank?
Yeah, 10 to 12 gallons of gas. Also, diesel cars, you also have to pay for your diesel miles. But diesel's cheaper, but in the end effect, it's because you have to pay for your miles. It's a similar price as if you had a gas car. And it's just a little bit easier if you had petrol. They call it petrol instead of diesel. Just one more. If you get a diesel
Petrol
car,
is gas.
petrol
Diesel is diesel.
yeah, diesel is diesel, petrol is gas. So if you get a diesel car, there's just another hoop or two to jump through by paying for your miles and stuff that you run because it's less clean.
Yeah, but then you don't have to refine the gas, right?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Refinery plants are
Anyway,
clean.
um,
Is it stick shift and you drive on the other side?
it's not stick, but I did drive stick, a little Fiat stick for a little bit. That was kind of fun. I still I've gotten used to driving on the other side. It took like 2 or 3 days. This really helps if you have a passenger who's paying attention. They can be like, "Hey, get on your side of the road," right? But I, even though I can now, it's like normal driving on this side since we've been here for about 2 weeks. I still, almost 3 weeks now, I still get into the passenger seat to drive because I'm so used to, for however many years, 8 years in the States, I would, always go to that side to drive. So that's just still habit for me, getting in that. So I did that like yesterday, and I was like, "What am I doing?" But yeah, it's not as hard as people think if you pay attention. If you follow the other cars, that helps.
Yeah.
Don't drive at night the first few times, and then you're set to go. Yeah, and the blinkers on the other side of the wheel. So, and the windshield wiper. How you turn the blinker on. So we always turn the windshield wiper. We always hit the windshield wiper to blink. So, yeah.
Dang.
Get used to it.
Yeah. So you said bang's the hardest, but everything else is super easy?
Yeah.
Talk about your car getting broken into.
We haven't had it, but car break-ins are pretty common. So if you leave a computer, wallet, phone visible, or something expensive, right, visible in the windows, cars will get broken into a lot. We haven't had that happen to us, but it happens in more in specific places, like in specific sections of Auckland, big cities and stuff.
You gotta tell them about their love of cones.
And they love their traffic cones. They have more traffic cones and sheep than people. Like every 10 minutes on the road, there's 1,500 traffic cones. And they're when they set the cones up, they're a foot apart. It's like a big wall of cones.
And
it's
the
hilarious.
roads are crap.
The roads are crazy. A lot of the roads, they're most the main highway in the North Island. It's Highway 1. It's 2 lane, 1 lane on each side. Super windy. It's like the highway that goes up to Julian. 78. It's like that. And then they have had some really gnarly storms. So the hillsides have been sliding. So half the road will be slid off the cliff. So it's all down to 1 lane. And we'll be driving for an hour, and you would see it, and with 60 miles of driving, it would be 10 times that half the road is slid off the cliff.
Dang.
Yeah. One thing is, if you were going to come, you fly into Auckland, and buying a car is the easiest in Auckland because it's the biggest city, most cars for sale there, and it's the cheapest there to buy a car. But if you were going to come down south, even if you were to rent a van or anything, you need to look and book a ferry passage to the South Island, at least in peak season, 3 weeks in advance because the ferries will book it, like sell out. So that's something you got. If you're gonna drive down to the South Island and get the ferry, that's like one thing you gotta know. We didn't know about it, and somebody told us, and we were able to book one a week out just because it's winter here. But yeah, that's something to keep in mind. And it's about, we got it for 250 NZD just for one way. So if you're gonna get the ferry with the car, right, and two of us. So if you're gonna get the car like to South Island and go back up to North Island, that's like 500 NZD right there on the ferry, right? So something to think about.
Dude, plus the petrol, bro.
Dude, yeah.
Dang.
But like everybody's been so incredibly nice here. Imagine like Southern hospitality, but more, right? That's what like I think of it. We met. So Tristan had a friend from Egypt that was from New Zealand, right? And we just texted him like, "Hey, we're in Auckland." He's like, "Oh, sick! Here, come meet me." And we met him at his warehouse. He's like, "Oh, my dad's trying to sell this car, but you can just drive it around for as long as you want. And if you want to buy it, you can buy it." So he gave us a car for free, and then he owns a sausage company, so he gave us a bunch of sausages, like from like prime cuts of meat, and he makes sausages, so it's not just like the leftovers ground up, like other sausages. These are like prime cut, and they were the best sausages we've ever eaten. And he gave us a whole bunch of those, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I also have a house empty in Auckland. We're living on the island just outside. Why don't you just go stay in my house?" So he gave us sausages, a car to drive around, and let us stay in his house for a week. So that was like, and then the car mechanic was like, okay, the dealership. Met a guy, he had family in Kentucky where Evie's from. So he's like, okay, here, I'll help you buy a car. Let's go on Trade Me. And he's like, oh, look, this car looks good and this car looks good. Go check it out. Bring it to me. I'll look at it. I'll have my private mechanic look at it, and he'll give you a good deal. And so, like, yeah, super awesome. The mechanic, instead of 120 NZD, if he did it like off the books for $80 cash, and just told us like, yeah, like honest, like so that was super awesome. A couple picked us up hitchhiking in Tahiti, and they were from New Zealand, from the North Island, Kirikiri, pretty far north. And so we got their number, and then we texted them like, "Oh, hey, we're around," and like, "Oh, you should come stop by." So we stopped by, like, "Oh, you want to stay for dinner? We have a room here. You can stay in our room or as much as you want, like as long as you want. Like you can spend the night." And we met them for like 5 minutes hitchhiking, right? And they're like, "Here's a room. You want food?" We didn't stay very long. We ended up camping on the beach, but like people that you meet for 5 minutes, like, "Hey, take my car, sleep at my house," and it's like genuine, like. They're not just doing that to be nice, like they mean it. So yeah, it's been awesome. People have been so nice and helpful, and we keep telling people that, and like, well, we would hope you would do the same if we came to the States. I'm like, depends on what part of the States, but I would.
Dang.
Yeah. So that's been awesome. Everybody here, especially the Kiwis, are super chill, super nice. They say the foreigners that have moved here, especially the Europeans, unless they've been here for like 20 plus years, but if they've just moved here in the last 10 years, they're a little bit more high strung and stressed out, and and then they finally pick up the Kiwi vibes and chill out a little bit, is what they say. So, they're just cruising the whole time.
Kiwis. Dude, I just bought a kiwi today to plant in the thing I'm doing.
Oh, sick.
You should. I just laid all the irrigation. It's sweet. You should. I'll send a video. I'll post it on Instagram.
Awesome.
But yeah, we got pumpkins. We got pumpkins in there now. We got lettuce in there, like lettuce starters, pumpkin seeds. We got 3 plants that have like 7 leaves that kind of like spiral out. Certain ones for medicinal uses.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. We bought them in Oregon, if that gives you any idea.
Oh yeah, classic. You make some tinctures.
Yeah, no, Miguel's planting them, but
classic.
So we got that. We bought like some thornless blackberries and stuff.
That's awesome. Sounds like fun. Oh yeah, the house that we're staying in, or gonna stay in starting Saturday. They have a little veggie garden, but they know a guy that has 20 acres, and he's like, I guess, doing a lot of saw work and bucking up, making firewood and all sorts of stuff. And they were there last weekend, and so yeah, I might go out, help out there just for for free. So that's cool. Yeah.
Dude, Dylan, did I tell you I'm putting my 2 weeks in, like in the next couple days at Wet Planet?
Why?
Oh boy.
Cause I'm gonna go fish with Miguel.
He's gonna leave a week
We're-
early. A week? Are you leaving a week early?
I'm leaving July 26th is my flight, and our fishing trip starts like July 10th to July 22nd in
Okay, 2
Idaho,
weeks early.
and then I'm really not feeling working at Wet Planet.
You don't want to make coffee anymore?
No, I work the next like tomorrow and then the next 2 days, so I work 3 days in a row. And I'm just really not looking forward to it. You know, I'm like, just not the vibe. I know, but it's also
Now
like I don't know.
YouTube is gonna know Wet Planet is not the vibe.
Well, it's not the vibe for me, because
Okay.
I don't
Do you
want
think if you were
to be. I don't want to be inside. I stopped taking photos. Someone else is doing that, so I'm just the barista. So like if I was taking photos, it would be a different thing. I'd be at the river, you know. But I'm just inside all day, from 8
Yeah,
to
that's
5, just serving
that's no
coffee.
fun.
And I'm like, that's not what I want to be doing right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah. They didn't let you guide.
I also didn't feel like guiding. Because I'm here so short, there's not really any guiding jobs right now. Like all the people that are here, like Durham and Dickey and um, Tyler or whatever, like all those guys that have been here for years, they get first dibs. And like when there's 2 trips in one day, you know,
There's just no
the,
no work.
the
No guide
season
work.
guides, yeah, the season guides get those jobs, and then literally all the new guides they haven't worked yet.
Dude, that sucks.
Yeah, it's just
Well, at
because it's
least you
not
got
booked.
work.
And then and
Yeah.
I'm leaving, so it's like it's not worth it.
Yeah,
But I learned,
that makes
dude,
sense.
I learned how to roll in the kayak,
Oh, sick.
and we bought a pool. They bought a above ground pool just to practice rolls. And
The
dude,
Clancy's?
yeah, and I
Oh,
should
sick.
get into it more often. But dude, I flipped in cave wave on the first wave. Do you know it?
Would you put it in BZ corner?
No, we put it in Houston. I haven't run the river.
Oh.
Dude,
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
been
yeah.
kind of chilling. Like, there's like no one. I would go with Dan, but I haven't run BZ down. I know. I do quite a bit of fishing with Miguel.
Yeah.
Dude, he hooked
I seen
into a
the-
steelhead behind the house on a
You did?
4-weight. No, Miguel, like on a 2-weight, he hooked into a steelhead.
That's crazy.
But no, but I flipped in cave wave, and I like was able to roll back up in that rapid because there's a couple more waves behind it. So that's
Yeah.
exciting. But
Oh. Did you hear? I'm on the third step of the work process or getting hired at Outward Bound in New Zealand. They want me to come in to do like what do they call it? Like not an interview, but like a trial run to see if I like the place and if they like me. I don't know when that's going to be. It might start August, but yeah, you stay with a group for a month. You live on campus and you stay with a group for a month, and you're with that group, and they have sailboats, and the group sleeps on the sailboat, but they have really nice motorboats for the staff, and you sleep like in the cabin of the motorboat while all the kids are sleeping on the sailboat on deck. It's not like an underground sail, like under deck. They sleep all on deck, on top of the deck. But you also go like backpacking for a few days, and whitewater kayaking, and they have a rock wall, like a legit like rock wall, part of a cliff, right in their backyard that they rock climb on. They have the climb set up, so it's not like a
A fake
built
tower.
one. Yeah, a fake one. And you do that and other stuff. So it's super sick. And they would sponsor Visa. You have to work there 3 to 4 years because it's like 20-day staff training every year. So they want you to stay longer if they're going to train you, right? And
Yeah.
it's not. I don't think you have to pay for the training either. I think you get paid while you're training. So they want you to stay, and they would sponsor a work visa that Evie and I would get on. But the only problem is, it's at least an hour from any town, and Evie, I have to live on campus, and then there's no job there around there. Evie would have to commute at least an hour each way to work. So that's like the only downside. We're trying to still figure that out, but it's sick. That at least I got considered, and I might still go and check it out and do that trial.
Yeah.
run. But
Dude, talking
we're still
about
trying
that,
to see what.
dude, you probably don't remember Bailey. She checked
Yeah.
you in the one time. Durham's
Yeah.
girlfriend. So she was like, "Yeah." I was talking to her. She left Wet Planet. She's working at a hotel or something in town, but she got the job over the winter and it pays a lot better. And oh my god, my light turned off. Here we go. But she was saying that she hopped onto a sailboat and then went over to Spain. To I think the island I'm gonna be on. She just
Mallorca?
hitched on a sailboat, dude. And then she's like, "Yeah, there's like so much work over there with yachts. You can literally go down to all the docks and just get jobs on all the yachts, and they all pay in cash. And then sometimes they're like, yeah, we just need people to sail around Spain or whatever, on one of their sailboat yachts. It's like a
That's it.
deckhand. So then you can just be a deckhand, So I might do that. I have a one-way flight to Germany. But I don't know. I probably have to prove that I'm leaving the country. Oh, someone's watching, Dylan. We got someone live.
Oh, sick.
Plan to what?
You plan to what? Leave Germany?
Well, if I have a one-way flight into Germany, they want to know probably. Well, I have a German citizen. Oh no, they're watching. But
Yeah, because you called them out.
But yeah, I don't know if I should buy a plane flight back and just see what happens and then move it, get insurance on the plane flight, or just work on the docks and then go somewhere and see where it takes me.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I might do that. What?
Mom and Dad are going over soon, like in 2 weeks or something.
I know. It didn't line up. I couldn't go with them.
Yeah. Hey, why don't you talk to Amy if you're back in the States, or if you don't know what to do? Amy, Outward Bound would be sick to work for, and Amy, Matt, you should go see if you can hang out with them. They're in Portland. Go see if you can hang out with them for a day.
Yeah.
But she works for Outward Bound. And Matt works for REI. You can ask them. Amy said she would get Evie in, or like Clementine or somebody, help them get in. You could ask.
I think I'm gonna go up to Alaska next year and get in really early in the season, and then be a raft guide there, and then volunteer at the local firefighter and search and rescue, and then start learning how the firefighter scene works. I think that's what my plan. But yeah, dude, Gabby makes like $150 in tips in a day on busier days.
What?
If I work like a 6-hour shift, Dylan, that's what I make. And that's what Gabby just makes on tips. So I'm like, if I was a raft guide in Alaska,
Guess
then
what?
what?
Tipping's not a thing in New Zealand.
You don't tip?
No.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Solves a lot of problems. You go out to dinner and you don't have to tip.
Yeah. I mean, if you go out to dinner, you don't have to tip, and then also they have to pay you, right? Minimum wage at least. Like in the States, they can pay you $2 an hour if they can prove that you make minimum wage through your tips, right?
Yeah.
So it solves all that stuff.
But you know what people do? Like Josh Dickey, what he was doing is he was guiding in New Zealand in their summer, and it would fly up here and then guide, like raft guide in the summer here. So maybe if I'm like digging it after next summer, I could just fly straight to New Zealand after that season.
Yeah, or Australia.
Or that. But
New Zealand's sick. You won't have a saltwater croc eat you if you flip your boat. The most dangerous thing is a spider, and the bite might be a little bit itchy.
What, in New Zealand?
And yeah, that's the most poisonous thing.
Hedgehogs.
They have hedgehogs.
What about ticks or whatever that?
Haven't heard of ticks. Okay,
Dang.
they have some stingrays, right? Sand fleas, they bite. They kind of hurt, but that's about it. Sharks, but they said they have what are they called? Bronze sharks. They get up to I don't know, 15 feet, but they're not very aggressive.
You should go
So it's
catch
like-
one.
Oh, dude, Dennis, here that you don't need a license in New Zealand to fish in the ocean, catch lobster or shellfish in the ocean. There's just some size limits that you have to abide by, right? But you don't need a license. You only need a license if you're doing freshwater fishing, and if you get by one license, it's good for a year for the entire country. Isn't that sick?
Dang, dude.
And then a lot of people, they will walk. Right now the water's cold, so the flounder are up in the shallows, and so people just walk at night with a light and a spear in one hand, and they just stab flounders. And I was at a fish store yesterday, and he's like, yeah, one of my buddies was out the other day, and he caught like 9 or 10 of them that way.
Dude,
And they're
well,
in,
get
like,
on the
knee-deep.
program.
Yeah, they're like in knee-deep water.
Dude, and you have a wetsuit, so you should get on that program, dude.
Yeah, get on that wagon.
Dude, and then film it and post it.
Emerson's thinking about coming in December. What? I have a question.
I have an answer.
If we're just gonna be talking, why do it on the live stream? Why not?
Because you
FaceTime.
get view time.
You get what?
You get people viewing it. So you get like more time being viewed on the
But
channel.
nobody's viewing.
That's I post. No one views when I go live. You gotta do it.
So you're just doing it to get views.
Yeah, pretty much. No, I'm getting it to get the view time, the view duration,
The watch hours.
the watch hours. Yeah.
Okie dokie. Yeah.
Hey, dude. If you don't post and I go
Those people
famous
diving?
soon,
What?
if you're not posting and I go famous soon, I'm just gonna take all that monetization I get.
You better make it Survival Dennis then, because.
Oh, don't worry, I can do that. That's
Yeah,
that's two clicks of a button.
I charge 50% for the name. Because I'm half of the name.
Dennis, it was so funny this morning. We were talking, and Aaron was like, "Yeah, I saw a dude on a dating app or something, and it was Dylan." And I was like, "Oh, I could date a Dylan too." And Dylan goes, "There's only room for one Dylan in this world." And I was like, "You're literally an identical twin. What are you like? What are you talking about?"
But that's a Dennis, not a
Yeah,
Dylan.
I know, but that was so funny.
Well, we might mosey soon here.
Yeah.
Go eat.
We gotta
Some
go eat some burgers. I think it's happy hour and it's 2 for the price of 1 burgers.
But then did we tell you about the meadery dude in Auckland?
Yeah.
He was rad.
Yeah, and
Super cool.
so it's like nobody does it right now here. Mead, very, very small. There's no competition, but it's becoming a little bit bigger. And a lot of people have beehives and stuff. So if you thought about it, and I bought one from him. He distilled his mead. It was like a plain mead. He distilled it and then aged it in oak barrel, and it tastes pretty much like a bourbon, but it's not bourbon. It's like I guess brandy because it's a honey wine.
Yeah, it's a wine that you
Aged
just
in-
brandy.
Yeah, but I haven't.
Really good.
I tasted it at the farmer's market, but I haven't opened the bottle yet. It was 60 NZD. No, 80. It's probably like 50
Yeah.
US dollars. But it's bomber stuff, and we're gonna open it when we move into the house. Celebrate.
Does he have a meadery or does he just sell at farmers markets?
He was just selling at farmers
But
markets.
he has a meadery.
But he does have a meadery, but I have the card. Bandit? Was it Bandit Meads?
Yeah,
I can tell you the name. You should look it up on his Instagram and stuff.
Dude, okay, Dylan. Did the other Dylan, the Dylan Clancy, is opening up a coffee shop in town?
Really?
Yeah.
Surprise.
And here's what I'm gonna do. Is
Sell
I'm
your
gonna
meat
sell
at-
I'm gonna sell my meat at the coffee shop.
That's rad. Wait.
But I don't-
When is he opening it? That's so sick.
in a few months. But I wonder if I need a license or if you need an alcohol license to sell.
You do.
Even if they're just walking out with it.
Yeah.
They're not drinking it there.
You need a license. I mean, I'm assuming so. I think in
So
California.
the guy at the farmer's market needs a license to sell.
I didn't ask him that, but
But that's
Okay.
also New Zealand, not
But
the United States.
in New Zealand, in
America.
California, the people that sell beer stuff at meat. Golden Coast Meadery sells at the farmers market, and they have to have a alcohol license, I think.
Yeah. But like the grocery store, do they have an alcohol license?
Yeah, alcohol license, and then you have to have a liquor license if you want to sell liquor as well. That's why the Trader
That's
Joe's in
grocery-
Prescott. What? Yeah, that's why the Trader Joe's in Prescott doesn't sell liquor, only beer and wine, because they can't get their liquor license. Because only so many stores in Prescott can have a liquor license. Right,
And there's
so-
a lot of bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
Well,
you look into it before you start selling it.
but also Savannah is doing a girls' rites of passage this year.
At Headwaters.
No, here on the land, and they're
Oh.
gonna most likely buy 35 acres of raw land that has 1 yurt on it, up next to the Abbey, Trout Lake Abbey,
Oh, sick.
and then I think we're scheming up stuff today, and I think that's gonna be a base for like survival schools. So if we want to teach a workshop or teach a school like a class, then we can always do it from there.
That'd be awesome.
And Savannah has a lot of outreach within the community, so
I
it'd
bet
be
she
easy
does.
to get. Dude, it was
Um,
so funny. This guy, Dylan, this is one last story. This guy, we were in town and getting pizza or whatever, and there's this guy doing music, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I stream on Twitch or I watch Twitch all the time, like live streaming that." And I was there with Suzanne, and Dan's talking to this guy, and I hear out of the corner of my ear, "Oh yeah, I'm the CEO of Twitch," and I look over. And the guy just like doesn't believe it. You can see on his face he's not believing this shit, right? And then they just keep having the conversation, and I bet you $100 that after that, when we left, he went and Googled who the CEO of Twitch is, and he would see Dan, and then he probably freaked out.
Weird.
That's funny.
Evie's been brainstorming, or Evie has a dream of opening, like buying some land and opening an event center, and like having. I don't know. They have in New Zealand here. We saw this place that sells prefab tiny homes out of shipping containers, kind of thing, and they're anywhere from like I don't know, $15,000 to $30,000 from a studio to like a 2-room bedroom, 2-room with like shower, kitchen, all that.
Don't
And
blow my idea out into the world, though. Let's
It's-
FaceTime
this
Dennis
is-
so we can talk to him. About
anyway, talking about Savannah's place, having like Evie wants to have an event center and like kind of a therapy, like what's it called, therapy farm. We have a bunch of animals, and then you can host like weddings or yoga or different classes. So I think it's similar to what Savannah's thinking of.
Well, this would be more like a Headwaters, like more survival school where you
Okay.
teach like rites of passages, and then you teach like different workshops,
Yeah.
such as like
We were
shelter
thinking, like,
building.
Yeah. But Evie's like, you could do whatever, like if somebody wants to come in and teach a lesson, like whether it be yoga or plant medicine or I don't know, right? Farming, bushcraft, or whatever it is. There's like that space for people to come in,
Yeah.
and teach that.
Let's FaceTime him real quick before we get.
Okay, can we FaceTime you real quick?
Why?
Ah, bollocks.
Oh, did that hurt?
Just got
Those are
spiked by a
spiky
stick.
sticks.
So, because then we don't have to post our ideas into the universe for people to steal.
Oh yeah, because everyone's gonna steal your idea.
Yeah, all
The
all
whopping
the
zero,
live
zero
stream
viewers.
watchers.
Yeah, the 0 live stream watchers up there.
Who knows? It might be ghosts watching.
Or dude, it might go off later when I post it as a normal
yeah.
video. Dude, yeah.
You gotta edit
that
some
might-
stuff out.
I don't think you can do that. It's live, dude.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, you just blew Dan's cover now. Okay, well, we're getting up to the car, so ciao.
See ya. How do I
How do I
end
end
this
this?
thing? God.
Leave.